हमारी स्टोरी आ जाती है, बाइलान आ जाती है, स्टोरी फेमस हो जाता है, अवार्ड भी आ जाता है, लेकिन हम कभी ये बातें नहीं करते कि एक इन्वेस्टिगेशन के पीछे बहुत सारे लोग होते हैं जिनकी बाइलाइन में नाम नहीं आता, जो आपको सपोर्ट करते हैं, आपके सोर्सेस, स्ट्रेंजर्स, योर रिपोर्टर्स जिनका कभी नाम नहीं आता। उसके बिना आप कोई इन्वेस्टिगेशन कर ही नहीं सकते। तो ये चीजें नहीं होनी चाहिए। व्हेन यू डू इन्वेस्टिगेशन, नो, you have to take care of each factor and you have to specially take the responsibility of the other person's life. कभी भी मैं इन्वेस्टिगेशन करने जाती हूँ तो आई हैव दिस पीपल जिनको मैं बोलती हूँ, इफ यू डोंट हियर फ्रॉम मी इन 24 hours, you need to contact the embassy, you need to contact this XYZ people. I felt like मैं तो इनकी स्टोरी सुन के वापस आ गई, they are still there, they stayed back and they are still a victim of trafficking and domestic violence. And that guilt, I still carry the guilt in my heart. I think as a journalist, your duty is to listen to everyone but trust none. Victims का जो trauma response है वो अलग, एवरी टाइम अलग होगा। ये हमारे जर्नलिज्म में जर्नलिस्ट को नहीं बताया जाता है कि जब आप सर्वाइवर्स को, विक्टिम्स को, सब्जेक्ट को इंटरव्यू कर रहे हो, एवरी टाइम उनके स्टेटमेंट चेंज हो सकते हैं। तो आई थिंक मेरे को एक ये एडवांटेज है कि जब मैं जर्नलिज्म नहीं करती हूँ तो आई वॉलंटियर विद एनजीओस टू जस्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ द सिस्टम वर्क्स।
Hello, everyone. In today's session, we'll delve into the critical and urgent topic of human trafficking, a pervasive issue that affects millions worldwide. Today, our guest is Pari Saikia, an independent journalist and documentarian from Assam, who is currently based in New Delhi. Pari has extensively reported on human rights, human trafficking, refugee rights, and labor rights. And she has reported from India, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Nepal, Italy, and contributed for Vice, Guardian, Tehelka, and many other publications. Pari, thank you so much for taking time for this interview.
Thank you so much, Alia, for making me part of your, this very important episode.
Pari, could you talk briefly about your journey from a young investigator into journalism focused on human trafficking? Like, what motivated you to cover this issue?
Okay, Ayla, before I start answering your question, I would like to keep this English because in India we have like reporters in different corners of a country who for whom English is a very a different language, and English or English Hindi makes it easier for us to connect it with them. So unke liye, because get a lot of queries and messages to keep a conversation in Hindi, so unke liye I'll keep it Hindi so that anybody watching your program could benefit. Okay, so
Sure.
मेरी journey जो है वो I think 2000, it's back in 2000 I would say, जब मुझे जर्नलिस्ट बनना था, लेकिन I was very confused on what subject to pick it up for reporting. तो उसी दौरान क्या हुआ कि my father, who was a police official, who retired as a police officer, he once called me, when I was in Delhi, I was studying here, and he called me up and said, मैं हमने कुछ लड़कियों को रेस्क्यू किया है असम से, और क्या तुम उनसे मिलने आ सकती हो, क्योंकि उनको अभी एक सपोर्ट सिस्टम की जरूरत है, वो तुम्हारे एज ग्रुप के ही है। अगर तुम उनसे थोड़ा बात करोगी तो थोड़ा उनको जो परेशानी और टेंशन है ना, थोड़ा उनको दूर हो जाएगा, थोड़ा उनको लगा कोई है। Or it was a very critical moment. I'll not, dig deeper because many things happened in between. And I rushed to that place where the girls were kept in a very secure and safe environment. And there were NGOs, there were NGO people, social workers who had also come to look at the girls. And there were girls from different parts of India, Assam, West Bengal, Jharkhand, Bihar, Odisha. And उस टाइम पे it was my first encounter, my first experience meeting girls who were victims of trafficking. And Alia, you wouldn't believe, my life just changed after that, because it made me feel how privileged and lucky I am, to have parents, to born and grown up in an environment where I wasn't exploited as a girl. And these girls whom I met in that place were younger than me. किसी के बॉडी में सिगरेट बट के मार्क थे, किसी का मोमबत्ती का मार्क था किसी के बॉडी में, एंड दे वर इन ट्रॉमा, and that really shook me from my heart. And then I डिसाइडेड कि मैं अगर रिपोर्टर जर्नलिज्म करूंगी तो आई विल रिपोर्ट ऑन ह्यूमन ट्रैफिकिंग। और उसके बाद से माई जर्नी स्टार्टेड एंड आई फॉट विथ सो मेनी एडिटर्स टू गेट माई स्टोरीज पब्लिश, बिकॉज ट्रैफिकिंग एक ऐसा सब्जेक्ट है कि was many years until I think 3 years, 4 years ago, it was taken as any crime topic, crime subject, or crime beat. तो उसका सीरियसनेस कोई समझ नहीं पाता था. आई रिमेम्बर वंस आई वॉज इन दिस एडिटोरियल मीटिंग विथ a very prominent magazine, and the editors telling the other staffers and reporters, Pari focus on human trafficking, and ये तो हमारा CSR प्रोजेक्ट है, तो तुम लोगों पे ज्यादा प्रेशर है एड्स लाने का, तो तुम लोग एड्स लाने में फोकस करो, तुम लोग बड़े तहलका वाले स्टोरीज करो, और परी का जो स्टोरीज है हमें बैलेंस करेगा. इट्स अ CSR स्टोरी, CSR प्रोजेक्ट फॉर अस. आई फेल्ट वेरी बैड to be treated like that. It's such a serious issues, and you're treating it like any other CSR work. तो उसके बाद decided no, ऐसे नहीं होगा. I need editors, I need support system where I can grow, and where people have my back, especially editors, and I can do good stories, important stories, and it is important to do timely. And that's how my journey started. And I have been very lucky because in 2019, I got my first fellowship on human trafficking by Impulse Model Press Lab, and under which I took up the story of Rohingya brides, the trafficking of Rohingya women to parts of India were sold as brides. And I think since then, there's no looking back. I have got full supports of editors. I've been very lucky with cross-border partners as well.
But you were awarded, if I remember rightly, you were awarded Lorenzo Award for the same story you did on Rohingya brides. Could you a little bit talk about the impact of the story and how you reported on that, and what was a little bit impact, if any?
Yeah, I think it's a very memorable journey for me every time I talk about the Rohingya story. जब हमने स्टोरी किया था इन 2020-21, जब स्टोरी आई थी उस टाइम कोविड पीक पे था, और और हमारा नेक्स्ट जो प्लान था इम्पल्स मॉडल प्रेस लैब के साथ म्यांमार जाने का. और हम जो हसीना कार्बी है, जो इम्पल्स एनजीओ की जो फाउंडर है, उन्हीं के अंदर ये इम्पल्स मॉडल प्रेस लैब है, और कर्मा पर जो नोटेड जर्नलिस्ट है वो मेंटर है. तो हमारा एक प्लान था कि हम इसको आगे कैसे ले जाएंगे. डायलॉग्स, विल डू डायलॉग्स विद म्यांमार ऑन ऑन रोहिंग्यास लिविंग इन इंडिया, उनको क्या सेफ्टी सिक्योरिटी जरूरत है. विल हैव अ healthy dialogue with Myanmar and Bangladesh. But then coup happened in February 2021, and then COVID was at its peak. So many things could not happen. But later on, we realized, we got to know from some social workers who were part of my journey during this investigation in Kashmir and Bangladesh. And even without naming this journalist, I would like to thank her because she equally took the risk with me. She put her life at risk for me to keep me secure and safe. जब मैं उनके साथ हर जगह जा रही थी women को मिलने के लिए, we were going as an undercover, we were going as a health worker, because there was no way going to them as an outsider or a journalist. ठीक है, इतना क्रिटिकल था, और बहुत रिमोटेस्ट पार्ट में वो स्कैटर्ड है पूरे कश्मीर में. एंड आई डिड नॉट चूज Kashmir deliberately. I had two more cities in plan, but the budget and the bandwidth was very limited. So I had to stick to Kashmir. So because many people criticize that you were you showed Kashmir in a bad light, which was not the case. And later on, people who criticized me came out with a similar story from Kashmir, which was also very funny. Um, so uh, so that's how it all started. And I remember meeting all these women. and ये पता है, आलिया, जब हम कोई इन्वेस्टिगेशन करते हैं ना एज इंडिपेंडेंट जर्नलिस्ट, हमारी स्टोरी आ जाती है, बाइलान आ जाती है, स्टोरी फेमस हो जाता है, अवार्ड भी आ जाता है, लेकिन हम कभी ये बातें नहीं करते कि एक इन्वेस्टिगेशन के पीछे बहुत सारे लोग होते हैं जिनकी बाइलाइन में नाम नहीं आता, जो आपको सपोर्ट करते हैं, आपके सोर्सेस, स्ट्रिंजर्स, योर रिपोर्टर्स, जिनका कभी नाम नहीं आता. उसके बिना आप कोई इन्वेस्टिगेशन कर ही नहीं सकते. सो इवन टुडे आई कैन नॉट नेम ऑल ऑफ देम, but I had a big, huge support from Kashmir. My sources, my journalist friend, she faced backlash because of me. Then I had friends and colleagues in Bangladesh जिन्होंने छुट्टी ली, जब इंडिपेंडेंट जर्नलिस्ट जिन्होंने छुट्टी ली मेरे साथ रहने के लिए, वो 7 days 5 days इन कोक्सेस बाजार बांग्लादेश, ताकि मैं इन्वेस्टिगेट कर पाऊँ, मुझे कोई अटैक ना हो. मैं, बिकॉज आई वॉज ऑलमोस्ट detained in Bangladesh for going to Rohingya refugees camp because I didn't have a J visa, a journalist visa. I was on a tourist visa, and then there was lot things going on. तो ये एक चीज था और इम्पैक्ट की बात करें तो हमें मालूम पड़ा कि एक हेल्पलाइन नंबर निकला था छोटा सा तो जो लड़कियां not only Rohingya refugee women, anybody who's facing domestic violence in Kashmir could contact that NGO and could ring to that helpline number. And I was very elated and very happy to find that during the peak COVID, such a thing has come out, especially after the story was out. And we received a lot of supports from international organizations and and people, humanitarian agencies who came forward to support these women. Some of the women who were part of the story are still in touch with me. अभी भी उनको कोई problem होता है ना, they call me and I tell inform the sources in Kashmir कि इनको ये जरूरत है, इनको ये मदद चाहिए, बेटी बीमार हो गई या फिर उनको कोई डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस हुआ तो इमीडिएटली वो जाते हैं, उनको देख के आते हैं. सो आई थिंक दिस इज ऑल्सो एन इम्पैक्ट बिकॉज जब हम डिस्कस कर रहे थे इम्पल्स मॉडल प्रेस क्लब के साथ कि अब हम women को कैसे रेस्क्यू करें. So we understood that we're gonna like shook at the dynamic of a family if we move the women out of the house because now they have kids. These women have kids. इनकी half Kashmiri parents है, half Rohingya mother है. So इनके बच्चों की livelihood, the childhood is very important and it revolves around the mothers. Okay. तो I was very aggressive कि नहीं इनको rescue करना है, इनको ही करना है. So like Hasina and my mentor were like, Pari, I know you are feeling very touched because you met them. You were moved by their stories, but we have to see that we do not move the child. We do not, hamper the child's future because the ones the women are rescued, the government will send them to detention centers and we don't want that to happen. So we have to be very careful, but I'm very glad Alia to say this, that the sources and people in Kashmir are still in touch with these women, the women are in touch with me, we have like a bonding and kabhi bhi kuch hota hai to we try to get them help. So ये small impact ही है and going forward I would like to do more stories on them.
Are there any specific investigative techniques that you find like most effective when reporting on human trafficking cases?
I think as an investigative journalist, we often forget that the person, especially the subject, in questions are, are human beings, and we are in this, pace of breaking a story. Like in कुछ आ गया snoop, हमको scoop मिल गया है, हमको by hook by crook इसको break करना है before anybody breaks it, and we always jeopardize the safety and security of the other person, especially the subject, and we always give them false hopes and promises. And I have faced the brunt of journalists who have met some victims before me, have made false promises, have also signed, got a consent form signed कि हम आपकी बेटी की फोटोज या बच्चों की फोटोज नहीं लगाएंगे. एंड उन्होंने बाद में आके बिकॉज दे थॉट जर्नलिस्ट कि मैं तो इंग्लिश न्यूज़पेपर में छपेगा, इंडिया के बाहर छपेगा, इनको क्या मालूम पड़ेगा. तो कोई बात नहीं, मैंने ऑन पेपर तो कर लिया और वहां मैंने छपवा दिया. बट somehow those people got to know कि उनकी स्टोरीज आई है, उनकी बेटी की फोटोज भले पीछे से है आगे से है और वो बड़े अपसेट थे. सो मैं जब उनको मिलने के लिए गई ना तो मुझे उन्होंने बड़ा मेरे पे चिल्ला के, आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर दिस, उन्होंने मुझे बोला एक तो तुम औरत हो और ऊपर से तुम जर्नलिस्ट हो, तुम लोग इसी पे खेल जाते हो, तुम लोग इस चीज का एडवांटेज उठा दो कि एक तो हम औरत थे और हम जर्नलिस्ट थे और हम तो छोटे लोग हैं तुम लोग के लिए, हमसे फॉर्म साइन कराओगे, झूठ बोलोगे, फिर हमारी स्टोरी छापोगे, तुमको लगता है इंडिया से बाहर छाप दिया तो किसी को मालूम नहीं करे पड़ेगा. तो ये चीजें नहीं होनी चाहिए. व्हेन यू डू इन्वेस्टिगेशन, नो, यू हैव टू टेक केयर ऑफ ईच फैक्टर एंड यू हैव टू स्पेशली take the responsibility of the other person's life. Your story is done, you get an award, you become famous. Nowadays, this is a trend. More than the story, the journalists become the story. So this should not happen, I think, Alia. Especially if you are working as an independent journalist. Now, most people are choosing independent journalists not because out of concern or they don't want to be part of unethical newsroom, because they want to get awards and fellowship. I received calls asking me, "ये story करूँगी तो award मिलेगा क्या? ये story करूँगी तो fellowship मिलेगा क्या?" And I was telling my partner, "Oh my God, these people should be banned." So ये motive नहीं होना चाहिए when you are in investigative or you need mentors. I always work with group of people. I always see that I have a safety net. मुझे कोई emergency हो तो there are people to take care of me. Especially why I'm saying this because this is a very small example. When I was in Bangladesh, I got detained. I was taken to a triple RC office. ठीक है. वहां पर मुझे to come out of the office was easier because Impulse Model Press Club officers had their paper ready. In case she is detained, she faces any problem, हम उनको डॉक्यूमेंट्स भेजेंगे क्योंकि वो इलीगल माइग्रेंट या फिर नो घुसपैठिया नहीं है, वो एजेंट नहीं है, शी इज अ जर्नलिस्ट. तो जब मैं ट्रिपल आर से ऑफिस पहुंची तो बहुत क्रॉस क्वेश्चनिंग हुआ, बट आई वाज वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट कि मुझे पता है दे आर पीपल टू टेक केयर ऑफ मी. तो उन्होंने पेपर फैक्स मेल किए, फैक्स किए, और विद इन फ्यू आवर्स आई वाज रिलीज्ड. अब उन्होंने बोला कि यू कैन नॉट मूव आउट ऑफ योर पेरिफेरी ऑफ योर होटल, आप उसके बाहर नहीं जा सकते हो. तो वो डिफरेंट स्टोरी है ऑल टुगेदर. बट इसीलिए एक तो इन्वेस्टिगेशन करने के टाइम यू नीड मेंटरशिप, यू नीड गाइडेंस. आप क्या कर रहे हो, क्या नहीं कर रहे, देयर शुड बी समवन इन दैट ग्रुप जिसको पता हो. एंड अभी कभी भी मैं इन्वेस्टिगेशन करने जाती हूँ तो आई हैव दिस पीपल जिनको मैं बोलती हूँ, इफ यू डोंट हियर फ्रॉम मी इन 24 hours, you need to contact the embassy, you need to contact this XYZ people. So I don't just jump, just like, embed myself in a situation. I'm very careful. And post my investigation, I take time off to rest and to, what we say, to, in a way to, rest. I need to take care of my mental health now because, especially after the Rohingya story, many people, laughed at me, but they really impacted my mental health. Okay, because I felt like मैं तो इनकी स्टोरी सुन के वापस आ गई. They are still there. They stayed back, and they are still a victim of trafficking and domestic violence. And that guilt, I still carry the guilt in my heart. And whenever I think of them, I just get I get very sick. And so I make sure that every time I'm meeting someone, I provide some kind of help now. Like we through the I have a collaboration. I had a collaboration with NGO and lawyers. तो उनको कोई भी हेल्प चाहिए तो these are the people. If I cannot do my job, I have a limitation. I'm a journalist. So other people can, step in and help the person. So we need to be very careful, be very empathetic, very sensitive, and that's all I think. Yeah.
You talked about building relationship with the NGOs or organizations you're working with. Can you share any essential tips that would be helpful for young journalists to build trust with NGOs or survivors while ensuring the ethical reporting and prioritizing the well-being of victims or survivors?
I think as a journalist, your duty is to listen to everyone but trust none. Okay. And this is what I believe in strongly. I am going to listen to you, but it doesn't mean I'm going to believe word by word. Believe you word by word. Okay. That's where my, I think, research starts. I need to research, investigate, find both side of the coins. It takes time. And as an independent journalist, you have the liberty that you can research. And even I'm working with NGOs. There were times with NGOs where I would argue on things which I find unethical or wrong, or they would correct me if I go overboard, overwhelmed with emotions. So that is very important to speak up. Just because you have you have partners in collaboration doesn't mean you have to say, haji haji all the time. So that is why we have collaborated to help each other improve, so that whenever we are providing help to a needy, it is like ethically and from all aspects, it's it's healthy. It will work on that person. So this is one factor that I believe in, that you trust none and you do investigation and then you do your work. Second is that collaboration always help. So as a journalist, पहले मैं बहुत चीजें जैसे रोहिंग्या वाले में मैं अकेली ही थी तो मैंने सब कुछ अकेले ही किया. तो मुझे ऐसा लगा कि उस टाइम मेरे साथ एक रिसर्चर होना चाहिए था, और मेरे साथ एक लॉयर भी होना चाहिए था, और एक स्पेशली एक मेंटल हेल्थ सपोर्ट, एक साइकोलॉजिस्ट होना बहुत जरूरी था मेरे साथ, जो उस टाइम वो मिसिंग था एक पॉइंट. और तो ये चीजें फैक्टर्स बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है जब आप कोई भी ऐसे ऐसे सेंसिटिव वर्क सब्जेक्ट पे काम करते हो. सो आई थिंक अ गुड कोलैबोरेशन ऑलवेज हेल्प.
And Buddy, you talked about mental health. I would like to ask you, like, how does the experience of reporting on human trafficking impact a journalist's mental health, particularly with symptoms like anxiety and depression?
This is one topic nobody talks about. Okay, nobody talks about openly. Nobody tries to address this problem. This is a very, global thing. When I went outside of the country, I understand what is the importance of, mental health, how significant it is for you if you are in a job like this, if you are an activist, if you are an advocate, if you're a lawyer, if you're into human rights, work, it is so much important. And यहाँ तो मैं बोलती रहेगी, and it's so expensive also to to get support. I think media now it's high time that media houses or journalist networks should come up with this kind of help, like with the grants for reporting. There should be grant to take support for mental health, like 2-3 महीने का उसको वो she should be or he should be or anybody should get paid for take care of her mental health. I think they should be part of our journalism system now. Grants reporting के लिए it's important, we need support, but we also need support for mental health. And in most cases you don't realize that you're suffering from mental health until it hits your personal life. It hits you through something bigger, you um until, like, for me also, in my case, for many months I didn't realize that I am suffering. And even me personally, like, you have seen the impact, like, um it stays with you. Now I'm very slow. I think, I do a story, I meet a survivor, victim, I take time off before reporting. Okay. I try to like rest and process. And then with a clear mind, I start reporting or writing about that story. I don't just quickly and immediately start reporting. Sometimes you also get biased, when you meet a survivor, you get so emotional. आप naturally बहुत biased हो ही जाते हो ना, इसको तो करना ही है, इन्होंने ऐसा कर दिया. But I think it's very important to take some time off, uh, few days, at least few days, to process, and then you start filing, your stories. Have a network where you can talk. Also, sharing with each other, with friends, is also like, it is good, but I think you're also burdening the other person with your pain. I used to be like, friend used to tell me I'm the unpaid therapist for most, but I no longer wish to be that now. I think when somebody's talking to me or they start sharing something, I get very jittery mentally. I like, no, I don't have the bandwidth. I don't have the emotional bandwidth to listen to. I'm really sorry. So it is very important to take care of your mental health, talk about it, write about it. And anybody who's watching your show, especially, journalists, senior journalists, or who are part of big foundations, I think we should all together come up with a grant in India for mental health. We have international grants to support for mental health, but in India and Asian countries, we also need, special grants and programs where we go and do nothing, learn, but at the same time we have exercises for improving mental health, to grieve. When we are covering trauma, we don't realize that we also need to grieve. क्योंकि आपके पर्सनल लाइफ में कुछ हुआ है तो ग्रीव करने की जरूरत नहीं. You can also grieve by listening to the trauma of others. So that is very important. I know this journalist, I would like to take her name, Nikita Jain. Oh my God, she covers the issues of Palestinians, and she's always posting about them, asking donations for the people of Gaza. And I salute her mental health because she's going through a lot, I think. She's bearing a lot. She also needs to grieve, I think. So I think there are journalists who have put their life and their mental everything at risk to, report, truth that matters to public. And I think that is why, as a collectives, we should come together and have a grant and programs for mental health.
And are there any support systems in place for journalists dealing with the emotional toll of reporting on human trafficking in specific?
Yes,
Kind of support
I
systems in
think when I went for the program of RSF, Reporters Science Frontiers, I had the different, experience getting psychosocial support. Their way of psychosocial support is very different from India. They try to get to the root of your issue, and they try to. There are so many, elements in your factors in your life that build up over time, and that triggers you eventually when you start reporting. And in most cases, might be our childhood had been very not so healthy. Many factors, plays, come in play. And So there are organizations like RSF, then there is Rotary Pack, because RSF asked me, they're pushing me to apply for Rotary Pack mental health program. Then there are a couple of organizations I need to look at it, and I'll share a link so you can share with your collective. There are programs, but in most cases, but there's a competition, there's a fight. Like for one grant, so many people applying. That's why we need many more grants on mental health. That's why I'm emphasizing on this. Like we have Asian collectives also of journalists. We can have our own Asian, grants or fellowship programs on mental health.
How do you ensure that your reporting on human trafficking does not inadvertently re-traumatize victims, like while still conveying the urgency and complexity of the issue?
I always give benefit of doubt to the victims. Always. Always. And then that's why I think in every time I have been present, so when I'm not doing journalism, I'm doing activism or volunteering with NGOs, different NGOs, and mostly in the capacity of translators. So I have seen that my job as a translator immediately translate into a psychologist, because they feel very comfortable with me because I give them a lot of benefit of doubt. Okay, I don't judge them. So when a person is rescued now, immediately they were taken to the police officials. Police officer starts questioning them. फिर एनजीओ वाले आएंगे, फिर गवर्नमेंट का काउंसलर्स आएगा, फिर वो शेल्टर होम जाएंगे, फिर वहां अनदर राउंड राउंड ऑफ क्वेश्चनिंग्स एंड ऑल. इनको लगता है इनके साथ इंटरोगेशन हो रहा है, बहुत लेस एम्पैथी मिलता है एनजीओ. कुछ लोग एनजीओ वाले इनको एम्पैथी करेंगे, but rest of the people who are important stakeholders in the rescue operations or in the rehabilitation process, their job is very important to the victim. क्योंकि we know, क्योंकि अब केस फाइल होगा तो सब कुछ पुलिस के हाथ में है, फिर लॉयर्स के हाथ में है, वहाँ साइकोलॉजिस्ट के हाथ में है. वहाँ ये जो लोग हैं, ये पिलर्स है, ये कैसे एक्ट करते, कैसे काम करते, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो मैं उनको बहुत बेनिफिट ऑफ डाउट देती हूँ. इसीलिए पता है, आई थिंक जब भी मैं किसी सर्वाइवर को, जब मैं ट्रांसलेटर बन के उनके साथ बैठती हूँ, काम करती हूँ, तो वो मुझे ऐसी चीजें बोलते हैं जो पुलिस के सामने या किसी और के सामने रिवील नहीं करते हैं. देन आई गिव द इंफॉर्मेशन टू द एनजीओ. ऑल्सो विक्टिम्स का जो ट्रॉमा रेस्पॉन्स है वो अलग, एवरी टाइम अलग होगा. ये हमारे जर्नलिज्म में जर्नलिस्ट को नहीं बताया जाता है कि जब आप सर्वाइवर्स को, विक्टिम्स को, सब्जेक्ट को इंटरव्यू कर रहे हो, एवरी टाइम उनके स्टेटमेंट चेंज हो सकते हैं. ठीक है, उनका ट्रॉमा रिस्पॉन्स है, उनको ट्रेसेस ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन याद होंगी, कुछ वो भूलेंगी, कुछ वो बनाएंगे भी. इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि दे आर लायर्स. मैंने ऐसे भी जर्नलिस्ट को बोलते हुए सुना कि यार ये ना झूठ बोल रही, ये ना इसकी बातों में जरा दम नहीं है. ये हम ये नहीं समझ पाते, कि कोशिश नहीं करते समझने की वो उस पर्सन का ट्रॉमा रिस्पॉन्स है. इतने साल ऑफ ट्रॉमा, भले एक दिन का ट्रॉमा, चेंज योर माइंड. ओके, बहुत चीजें योर माइंड वांट्स टू फॉरगेट, योर बैड मेमोरीज, योर बैड एक्सपीरियंसेस, यू वांट टू फॉरगेट. उस पे आपको आपको बताना पड़ रहा है, यू लाइक गोइंग थ्रू द सेम ट्रॉमा, द पर्सन इज गोइंग थ्रू द सेम ट्रॉमा. तो हम जर्नलिस्ट को इतना पेशेंस नहीं होता है. तो आई थिंक मेरे को एक ये एडवांटेज है कि जब मैं जर्नलिज्म नहीं करती हूँ तो आई वॉलंटियर विद एनजीओस to just to understand how the system works. And since I only cover human trafficking, for me it is very, very much important to understand who play what roles and how they play. In most cases, it is so difficult to make the police official understand कि ये person ह्यूमन ट्रैफिकिंग का विक्टिम है, इस पे मिसिंग केस नहीं लगाइए. वो कहते हैं ये बंदी तो अपनी मर्जी से आई थी, ये तो अपनी मर्जी से ही उठ के आए थे, अपनी मर्जी. ओके, वो अपनी मर्जी से सेक्स वर्क करने आई होंगी. नोबडी हैज अ राइट टू अब्यूज हर. नोबडी हैज, शी आल्सो इज एंटाइटल्ड टू द यूनिवर्सल लॉज ऑफ ह्यूमन राइट्स. तो आप ये नहीं कह सकते कि जस्ट बिकॉज शी voluntarily came down to do sex work, that means she doesn't mean कि she will have to go through the exploitation. Somebody has a right to sexually exploit her, or do anything with her. Nobody has the right. This is the mentality we need to change, and this is like that's why I participate with different groups, and yeah, that's how I work. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Take care. Bye
No,
bye.
thank you, Alia. Thank you so much. Yeah.